The Food Service Exchange presents.
Welcome to the Univex Semi-Automatic Bun Divider Rounder training video. This video has been created to function as a companion to the instruction manual provided with your machine. This video is in no way a substitute for the instruction manual. Make sure to read and understand your owner's manual before operating the dough divider rounder. Important safety reminders. You must be at least 18 years of age to operate, clean, disassemble, or move the dough divider rounder. Operation by persons under the age of 18 is prohibited. Do not wear loose-hanging clothes to avoid risk of your clothing getting caught in the machine. Keep your body and hair well away from the rotating parts, belts, and gears. Never leave the machine unattended when running. Always turn off the power when the machine is not in use. Properly level the vibration dampening feet. Do not operate the machine while resting solely on the wheels. Do not work under the influence of alcohol, narcotics, or drugs that may alter your mental or physical condition. Prior to use, the electrical supply to the machine must be connected and tested by a qualified technician. The Univex Semi-Automatic Bun Divider Rounder reproduces the movement of the human hand in order to gently form dough into the desired shape, and can divide initial dough portions of up to 8 3/4 pounds into 15, 22, 30, or 36 equally measured finished portions, and can produce between 1,800 and 4,300 portions per hour. Using the SBDR. Before using the machine, you should first calculate the appropriate weight of the dough to be placed in the forming tray. For example, to make 15 8-ounce dough portions, multiply 8 ounces by 15 and make initial dough portions of 120 ounces or 7½ pounds each. After you have determined the weight of your initial dough portions, set the weight regulating rod prior to use. Turn the weight regulating rod clockwise to reduce the volume of the forming chambers, and turn the weight regulating rod counterclockwise to increase the volume of the forming chambers. Note: the numbers on the weight regulating rod are for reference purposes only and do not correspond to any specific weight value of the finished dough portions. Correct adjustment of the weight regulating rod depends on dough consistency. If the forming chambers are too small, the dough balls will be damaged. If the forming chambers are too large, the dough balls will not be adequately formed. To begin operation, press the Start button to turn the machine on. Place your dough in the center of the forming tray, and then sprinkle your dough with a little flour and press it down firmly to ensure that the dough will be cut evenly. Make sure that the edge of the dough does not extend beyond the perimeter of the circular indentations. Place the forming tray on top of the forming table. Make sure to align the hole in the tray with the front center guide pin. Important: failure to correctly insert the forming tray and properly align the hole with the center guide pin may cause damage to the machine. After inserting the forming tray, grasp the pressure handle and lower it halfway to compress the dough. Slide the dividing handle to the right and pull the pressure handle all the way down. While still holding the pressure handle all the way down, push the forming handle down and hold it in the lowered position. The rounding operation will continue as long as the forming handle is held down. Note: optimum forming time is determined by the consistency of your dough. You may need to make several test presses to achieve the desired result. After rounding your dough, raise the forming handle. Raise the pressure handle and then remove the forming tray. Note: the machine can be stopped at any time by pressing the stop button. Troubleshooting. If the dough is unevenly divided, make sure that the dough is placed in the center of the tray and sufficiently flattened by hand. Press the dough a bit longer or press it down harder to give it a more uniform thickness. If the dough balls are not completely formed or have an irregular surface, press the dough with less force. Decrease the forming time, or adjust the weight regulating rod to a higher position. If the dough is compressed into the crack between the pressure ring and forming plate, make sure that the edge of the dough does not extend beyond the perimeter of the circular indentations. Decrease the pressing time or use less force when pushing the pressure handle down. If the dough balls do not have the same weight, ensure that the dough is placed in the center of the forming tray, evenly flattened by hand, and that the dough does not extend beyond the perimeter of the circular indentations. Press the dough a bit longer or harder to give the dough a more uniform thickness. Cleaning the SBDR. Danger. Always shut off the power by disconnecting the electrical plug from the outlet or turn off power at the source before cleaning or servicing your machine. Never clean or remove residual pieces of dough while the machine is moving. Prior to cleaning, turn the weight regulating rod counterclockwise all the way. This will completely expose the knives in the head chamber for thorough cleaning. Next, remove the blocking pin which secures the blade assembly to the base of the machine. Gently raise the top cutting assembly 90 degrees into the open position. Next, brush away any residual dough on the knife head assembly and then wipe it down using a clean cloth soaked in mild detergent and warm water. Next, lower the pressure handle and release the divider handle to expose the blades. Brush away any residual dough and carefully clean in between the blades. Important: after cleaning, sanitize the machine in accordance with NSF standards. After cleaning is completed, press the divider release handle and raise the pressure arm to lift the blades back into the knife head assembly. Gently lower the knife head assembly back into place and replace the blocking pin to firmly secure it to the machine base. The outside of the machine may also be cleaned with a mild detergent and warm water, but should not be subjected to running water or spray from a hose. And of course, remember to also wash the forming tray in mild detergent and warm water. Thanks for watching the Univex SBDR Dough Divider Rounder training video. If you have any further questions, contact Univex at 800-258-6358, sales@univexcorp.com, or visit us on the web at www.univexcorp.com.